In the realm of global spirits brand building, there are very few rule books to solve how you do it, how to deal with the issues of planning, creativity, operations. Mostly these remain unanswered. What is the right strategy to do this? Well, I'd like to look at the Jim Beam case, the fall and then rise of Jim Beam, first in the United States and then globally. The Jim Beam case does an outstanding job revealing what it takes to be highly effective in building a spirits brand. Jim Beam is in hundreds of markets across the globe, and the company was recently purchased by Suntory of Japan for $16 billion. So in 2008, Jim Beam was in serious decline. It was the first time that StrawberryFrog, my agency, and I were asked to come in and talk about the challenges Beam were facing and to present a point of view. There was an immediate brief, which was to stop the decline of the brand in the United States. And after we left that briefing, I think we realized that underpinning that was a much bigger challenge, which was to create a platform for the brand, which allowed the brand to grow, but also to provide the company with a true focus for everyone working within Jim Beam. I remember reviewing all the Jim Beam advertising at the time. Frankly, it was all over the place. We looked at 20, 30 different campaigns from the brand in the course of 2000 to 2009. And there hadn't been any pronounced effort to create confidence and faith in the main white label, which was the most famous part of the portfolio. Added to this was the introduction of new variants that had a very different image to the main white label. In some parts of the country, the brand was used as a mixer. In other parts, consumers were afraid to ask for the brand at the bar. In other parts of the country, it was highly discounted. So as frogs, to achieve our business objectives, we had to leap beyond the category. And we had to think about ideas that would let the brand or help the brand become an iconic brand and not a brand within the bourbon or whiskey category. Our inspiration was, of course, the work that we had done with Heineken, but also brands like Apple and Nike, which were lifestyle brands and iconic brands that played outside in their category. Whiskey has always been about ostentatious behavior, success, about sitting with your male friends and enjoying the fruits of your accomplishments, a sense of externalized specialness and entitlement. When we did our research in bars across the United States and we watched guys, we realized that success wasn't really what the brand could use to revitalize itself. We realized that there was some bigger idea there, and that was when guys approached the bar, they were very conscious of what they were ordering because they were being watched by men and women. And that's when we came up with this thought that we really needed a call for the brand that really embraced this idea of confidence. This is where ordering a Jim Beam clearly presented major barriers for the brand. And this is where we had to overcome a major challenge. We looked back at the history of Jim Beam, how the family had been making the bourbon for more than 200 years. And in this history, we saw how bold choices had always been taken by the family through their entrepreneurial spirit and dedication to the success of the brand. There was definitely something within the culture of the company that could connect the idea of bold choice to the needs of the consumer. Bold choice became the platform upon which the company would communicate its idea and its experiences. It made a lot of sense to use this as the base for all our communications. Our job was then, how do we inspire people and get them to make bold choices, especially when they choose their whiskey? And that was the birth of the campaign idea in Bold Choices.
Life boils down to a series of choices. Before long, the choices you make and the ones you don't become you.
The campaign ran in a wide variety of media: television, cinema, digital, social, print, out of home, innovative use of technology, music promotion, events, and of course competitions. When we launched the campaign, we went out with one major television ad, and that focused on different outcomes of your life based on where you made a bold choice. So the notion of making a bold choice, the first brand platform we created for the US market, was a lot more relevant than success and a great deal more differentiated compared to Jack Daniel's, Beam's main competitor. And inside Beam, the key brand benefit was Jim Beam inspires you to make a bold choice at the bar and of course in life. The brand invested in media advertising and started to see a change in household penetration and demand. So phase one of the revitalization of the brand was all about focusing the brand idea, a singular voice, and look and feel across the portfolio with this campaign in the United States. In it, we see Willem Dafoe, who himself actually made a bold choice to travel to New York City, where his acting career took off. Phase 2 happened when Jim Beam decided to build the brand beyond the United States, across all territories with their very different business needs and different business tasks. The new challenge was to demonstrate that the company and the brand could act as one global cultural movement brand. To do this, we built on what we had learned over the course of 4 years and set out to develop a universal insight that would take the brand globally. An insight that sat at the very center of the global campaign, that transcended geography, but allowed enough depth and breadth to express the brand effectively in everywhere from Germany to Brazil, from India to Australia, and the United States. When I penned the Make History motto, I was thinking about an idea that could represent the history of the brand. I mean, this is a 200-year-old brand, one of the oldest in the United States. But at the same time, I wanted the idea to be something that meant something to millennial consumers right now. So that when you go out with your friends and you order a Jim Beam, it was about making history that night, at that moment with your friends. So Make History was both a backward strategy that let us talk about the pedigree and legacy of the brand, but at the same time, it was a future strategy about what you were going to do with your friends that evening. The movement was brought to life in a series of television commercials and digital films featuring Mila Kunis. The net impact on sales has been quite remarkable. The brand had grown tremendously, which is a fantastic move forward for the brand. It's really important to talk about the organizational impact as well, which enabled global marketers within Jim Beam to unite behind the brand and what the brand was doing, and this brought enormous benefits to the company. We can be sure that the advertising played an enormous role in the success of the brand because the advertising achieved the goals that we had set out to achieve. We know this because we looked at a comparison between the markets that ran the advertising and the markets that did not. And there was a significant difference. This was why we were awarded the Golden Effie for advertising effectiveness 2 years ago. It was interesting doing some consumer pre-testing for the global campaign as well, which we did around the world. It was further evidence that the campaign resonated significantly with consumers in the brand's key markets. The Make History campaign had a significant impact on sales and had a tremendous return on investment. What can we learn from the Make History campaign? Deciding on a universal insight on the rise in culture is crucial. The universal insight needed to unite. It also was important that the campaign was controlled and the idea was born and was grown in a controlled environment. And then, as the brand developed, it was important to demonstrate agility and flexibility to the different business needs in different countries around the world. The Make History idea continues to be used in all the advertising. It has been a very profitable investment for Jim Beam, and it has been a great brand story. Thank you.